Hello everyone, this is Rashmi, your host for this episode. Today I am here to talk about a very interesting concept, disturb the disturbance. Yes, you heard it right. It's disturb the disturbance with the power of silence. So welcome on board once again and I hope you enjoy this episode with me. When we were kids, the most commonest phrase that we heard from our teachers, can you guess what was it? Yes, it was put your fingers on your lips, or I want pin drop silence in the class. Silence is golden. That's what we've always heard. But as children, did we understand what was the crux of making us be in silence at that point of time? Well, it was to make us focus on our studies, to absorb whatever we can while being in that silent mode. When we are in a silent mode of time, that's the time when our absorbing power is the highest. Because our mind is like that telescope which wants to focus on specific things. But because the tripod on which this telescope is standing is shaky or lousy, we tend to lose focus and get disturbed by unwanted thoughts. So when we were asked to be in silent zone in schools, focus was the main intention that we could learn and absorb things in a better way. It's as easy as if you want to go somewhere very urgently, you would like to start off maybe in the early morning or late at night just to try and avoid the traffic. Similarly, if we want to focus and absorb, then being in that silent mode without any traffic of external factors helps us to absorb things easily. Do you remember the time when you were grounded for any mischief that you did, grounded by your parents? Not allowed to speak to anyone for a day or two, not allowed to go out and play. What was it that they were trying to do to us? They were trying to instill discipline within us by being in a silent mode. Discipline by way that we could think and reflect of what we did wrong and what could be the right way to do it the next time. So silence had already been instilled into basic in our childhood days. Then as we grew up, when we want to have a bigger car, a bigger house, a better job, more of money, we kept doing and doing and doing. And we forgot to take a pause and just sit back and relax, just to be with our own selves. How important is it to be with our own selves, to reflect and see within us? As kids, we were given report cards to see how we fared in school, in our exams. In our jobs, we are given promotions or performance appraisals depending on our performance. So we know how we fared. But how do you know that how you have fared as a human being? How far have you come? How far do you need to go? It can be done with introspection or self-reflection, which can be done only when you are in a calm and silent zone with your own self. Now I am using the word silent, but that doesn't mean that you just need to sit down and meditate, though it is one of the best ways to be with your own self. But silence could also be in various other forms, like just going out for a walk or just do some gardening, but with your own thoughts, with your own self, nobody around you, nobody to talk. Because that's the time you introspect or do self-reflection and try and decide what are your priorities, what are your non-priorities, what is that you don't need in your life at all, but you may still end up thinking about it, focusing on it and wasting your energy. So introspection helps us in setting up certain goals which would give us some sense of achievement and satisfaction and let us know the inner cause, main thing that we are here for in this world and the bigger intention for which we are here. Have you heard of the word Maun Vrat? It's a Hindi word, but Muni, that's a religious sage, that comes from Maun Vrat, which means fasting of silence. These sages, many religious leaders, they sit down and be in with their own self in silent zone. This gives them the inner energy to introspect within them and find out the hidden treasure The brain waves that are generated in this zone are so high that they help with creativity. They help with the power of visualization. They help with law of attraction. Whatever you want, you can achieve by manifesting when you are in that silent zone. It brings out the best on you, and you may say that it brings out the flow state of mind within you. Now, by flow state, I mean the state when you are highly focused and highly happy in that state. You're the most productive, you're so happy doing at what you're doing at that point of time that you just lose your own sense of self at that point of time. That is the concentration level that you have when you are in that flow state. So being in the silent zone helps you in so many matters, and if I may say, it helps you in relationships as well. It could be a relationship savior. How? Because in an argument, we tend to end up saying things which we didn't intend to, and then end up with some cracks in our relationships, or with some anger, with some frustration. But the quieter one here is the winner, because the quieter one is the one who's actually going to end the argument, and that's like a win. So not saying things which they might not be needed at that point of time works for your relationships as well. Silence helps us in so many aspects, right? Focus, discipline, introspection, concentration, relationship savior. So why don't we all start this daily dose of silence and just take a pause, just take a breath, and just not keep on doing and doing and doing. We could have 10 minutes right at the start of the day, 10 minutes at the end of the day, and keep taking those small pauses in between and reflecting within us and find out the power of silence and just disturb the disturbance within you. So I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and take care and see you soon. Thank you.